Football means a lot to me. It's pretty much one of the only things I love. It helps me, get all my aggression out. Whenever I have a bad day at school or something, just look forward to taking my mind off everything and playing football.
You play football because you want to help your teammates, you want to help them win, and then you go down with a season-ending injury. It's heartbreaking, to say the least.
The kids that do it at our level, I have the utmost respect for them, especially the kids that make it for 4 years. They're not going to the NFL. Most athletes in the NCAA aren't going pro. They're just doing it because they love it, because I know these kids really love to play the game like I did when I was a player.
I played at a school that was a little bit more competitive, and there was a little bit more of an aggressive aspect to it in terms of wanting to do football all the time. But here at Hanover, it's Division III. At the Division III level, it's more about just having fun with your friends and going out and playing for each other and playing for your coach. There's an aspect to wanting to get it done for other people.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and put your hands together for your Hanover College Panthers!
Hanover is a Division III college located in Hanover, Indiana. The college is known for its beauty and landmarks unique to the school. A lot of the students don't come to the school for those landmarks, but for continuing sports. Division III schools don't offer athletic scholarships, so athletes are committed to their sport without the benefit of financial aid. These students understand that they come to Hanover for an education and then work hard in sports. Athletes at Division III schools don't focus on playing to go pro, but to continue playing the sport they are passionate about. These athletes, as well as coaches, understand the emotions and feelings that go into sports. The success of Hanover sports granted them their first Commissioner's Cup last year, which is an award given to the college and the conference that has the best combined finish of every sport at the school. One team that contributed to this award is the football team. As the 2019 season begins, the team is coming off a conference championship for the first time in 15 years. Winning comes with the pressure to repeat. The turnaround can be reflected on the new coaching staff that arrived 3 years ago. The coach that has been with the program for the longest is assistant and running back coach Mike Foy. Coach Foy has been coaching at Hanover since 1995. Going into the 2019 season, Coach Foy has coached for 7 conference championships at Hanover. Although coaching has been a big part of his life, he doesn't coach full-time. Ever since he got the job at Hanover, he has been the general manager for a fitness center called Fit for the King. Football has been an important part of his life, and he doesn't want to leave the game.
It's been part of my life for so long. I can't picture myself not coaching. When I'm on the practice field or on the game field, that's all I'm thinking about is football. So it gives you that break from real world problems.
Being a full-time general manager and part-time coach doesn't give someone much free time. Making time for his family is tough because he wakes up early to get to the fitness center, then goes to practice right after. His family is also involved in sports and understand the commitment it takes to coach.
My wife's also a coach. She was an athlete. She was a Division I cheerleader and dancer. So I have brother-in-laws that are coaches. Our family is just full of coaches. So it's kind of the kids. My boys have kind of grown up with it, with both of us coaching.
Working 2 jobs can take a toll on more than just someone's family, but yourself as well. Being a full-time general manager and still being a coach takes a lot of commitment mentally. Keeping yourself motivated is important to making the commitment. What keeps Coach Foy motivated is being out on the field and seeing everything the team works hard for come to life during a game.
All the hard work that you put in throughout the week and, the off season and all that, the spring ball, it's for that adrenaline rush on Saturday mornings.
Here we go. Come on, offense. Let's get a drive. Let's go. Let's go. That's a good pass pro right there. Okay. All day long, right? All right. Keep pounding it. We're going to get it in there. You got me? Let's go get it right now. Let's go get it. That a way to keep fighting, fellas. That a way to keep fighting. That's a great answer right there. Good job, guys. Great answer. Hey, keep it up.
Coaching can be a stressful job. There are moments when coaches have to learn from wins or losses and deal with adversity to make them and their players better. Things may not always go their way, but how they react to it is how that reflects on the team and season.
You know, there were some years in there at Hanover that, that got pretty bleak. But if you've been in coaching long enough, you're gonna be here. Hey, Wayne, good job. Ready to run the football, baby. Good job. And you're gonna be here. Hey, we just gotta finish up front. You got me? If you really love it, you got to figure out a way to handle the adversity and work through it.
Football is more than a game. It teaches its players and coaches life lessons that they can take going forward. For Coach Foy, he has learned how to win, lose, and work with others in his life.
It teaches us how to win, teaches us how to lose, teaches us how to work with people. Like I said, I've been through a lot of different head coaches since I've been there, a lot of different coordinators, and they all want to do things different. And you got to be able to adapt and work with those guys and make it all work. So not only you got to work with, your superiors, you got to be able to work with different types of players and kids.
One of Coach Foy's players that he has been coaching for the last 4 years is senior running back Jake Namasnack. Jake has been playing football since he was in middle school and has fallen in love with it ever since.
Ever since I put on the pads when I was in the 6th grade, I felt a sense of competitiveness that I've never felt before in my entire life. That feeling of walking out onto the field, going against another opponent with your brothers and going to war, there's no other feeling like that.
Jake is coming off a season-ending injury that happened late in the season, his junior year. He suffered a Liz Frank injury to the foot that required surgery. This was new to Jake because this is his first injury he has suffered in his career, and it turned out to be a big one.
I go down with a Liz Frank injury to the foot, and at first, it didn't really feel like it was season-ending because, the days after leading up to the next game, it was like I was going to be playing in the next game no matter what. I had to play in the next game. Then I get that news that I needed surgery, immediately. I mean, you want to talk about shock? You want to talk about something that you would never see coming? Hit you like a brick.
Coming back from a season-ending injury can be hard. Even when your injury requires surgery, the fear of re-injuring it can happen. Jake credits his teammates for helping him push through all his doubts about his injury. The support from his teammates pushed him to get through his injury and return to the field.
If it wasn't for my teammates and them pushing positive attitudes on me, I don't know what I would have done because I got so down on myself. I got very upset, kind of depressed almost, I might not be able to play football ever again because of how serious the injury was. So I had a lot of things going through my head. And really the one thing that stuck with me was keeping the positive attitude.
After the positivity and help from his teammates, he bounced back from his injury. Jake wants to do whatever it takes to continue playing. He wants to fight for himself and for the ones who helped him believe he could recover and play again.
Can't stop on an injury. I mean, I was always raised to never quit, never give up on anything. So to bounce back, to work harder, get faster, get bigger, get stronger, I wanted to come back to play. I'm not going to sit my senior year out. I wanted to be out there with my brothers and my teammates to win another conference championship.
Unfortunately for Jake, his first injury wouldn't be his only injury. This season, he dislocated his elbow. Luckily for him, the injury wasn't as serious as his last one, and it doesn't require surgery.
Is he getting cleared?
In fact, his injury won't be sidelining him for very long either.
I dislocated my elbow. It was a run play, went down the middle, got tackled, and I thought I could hold myself up with one arm, my entire body. It's not season ending. It's not even a couple weeks out. If my brace comes in, I'll be able to play on Saturday. So I got lucky this time.
Getting injured in back-to-back years can affect your body and mind. Deciding to keep playing can result in possibly getting hurt again. Jake praises his teammates for being there for him and keeping him motivated to continue playing.
My friends, the friends that I've made, they come back every year. Our bond gets stronger and stronger every year. And we have new freshmen that come in. And it's a chance to push what you've learned over the last 4 years onto them, get them to stick around, get them to win another championship. It's the legacy that you push down onto others that really makes a difference.
Being knocked down and getting back up is what a competitive attitude is all about. Pushing through injuries to continue playing your sport is an example of being a competitor. Football has taught Jake how to compete on the field and in life. Whether it's getting back up after an injury or being the best person that he can be, football has shown him how he can achieve that.
Football has taught me to always have a competitive spirit. When you have a competitive spirit, you don't let anything else stand in your way. And that can refer to any future jobs that you look at. You always want to be the best that you can be no matter what. You always want to set yourself to a higher standard, because out here on the field, coaches hold you to a high standard. And that translates directly to career-wise, to the classroom. You always hold yourself to a higher standard.
Competitors love to play the game of football. When you line up in front of someone, competitors have that fire to beat them every play. For senior defensive lineman Zeke Amori, football is about competing and physicality.
I've always been into sports, but more into like physical sports, and I guess that's the most physical you could get. The way you could hit somebody and not get in trouble for it.
Zeke uses football to get his feelings out. Football is a physical sport, and whether he wants to get his emotions out or take his mind off something, football is his way of doing that.
It helps me, get all my aggression out. Whenever I have a bad day at school or something, just look forward to taking my mind off everything and playing football.
Football means a lot to Zeke. It means so much that he is willing to play far from his home and his family. Zeke is from Florida. Playing football in a state like Indiana gives him the challenge of new play styles and atmospheres.
It's real different. Aside from the weather, it's just like, the speed's different, people are different. It's a different environment with the players and stuff. I've adapted to it pretty well.
Being apart from his family makes it so he doesn't see them as much. Being hundreds of miles away makes for a long drive for his family to come to his games. When some of his family members make that trip, it means a lot to him.
Last year was the first year someone came down from my family. It was my sister. She came down to one of the games. And then this year, my sister and my cousin came down to the homecoming game, so I appreciated that. So it's a 15-hour drive.
Choosing to play far from home is a huge commitment. Knowing that you're going to a new state and a new atmosphere can be different. Finding someone you can call family away from home helps you feel comfortable.
Formed a real good bond with my defensive coordinator, Coach Gold. I felt like I could trust him more than any of the other coaches that recruited me. So I felt like if I was going to be far away from home, it should be with someone I could at least consider family away from family.
After Zeke's freshman year, he left Hanover and football. Zeke and his family were having trouble financially. This led him to coaching at his old high school, and he realized how much he missed the sport and wanted to find a way to come back and make it work.
And that year I was away, I was coaching at my high school, so I was just involved with it, and I really missed it. So try to see if you can make something work up here again, and come to find out I did.
Developing a love for the game and your teammates is something that athletes live for.
Being from Florida, Zeke isn't able to be around his teammates outside of football and school. Building a relationship with teammates makes them feel like family.
Made some real good teammates here, communicate with them the rest of my life, so being with them every day at practice, that's another thing I'll probably miss.
Football impacts different people in different ways. Discipline is one thing Zeke takes away from the game and is something he implements in his life.
Always be disciplined, or else you're not going to get the results that you'd want to get, like showing up on time for things, doing everything the right way when someone's not looking, just paying attention to the small details.
Another player who is used to playing in a different atmosphere is senior quarterback Noah Wazinski. This atmosphere isn't a change in location, but a change in division. Noah is a transfer from the Division I school, Miami University. He transferred to Hanover after his freshman year at Miami. Noah decided to transfer because he wanted to have more time to focus on academics and personal life away from football.
So I transferred because I wanted to be more involved in academics. I wanted to be more involved in just kind of socializing and doing some of the things I like to do outside of football and outside of school.
Being at a Division I school carries more pressure for the players because the stakes are higher. Football at Hanover comes with less pressure because players are playing for the love of the game. Noah likes this atmosphere because it allows him to have more fun playing with his teammates.
At the Division III level, it's more about just having fun with your friends and going out and playing for each other and playing for your coaches. There's more of there's an aspect to wanting to get it done for other people. And obviously you're playing football to win football games.
The commitment aspect of being in Division I is different from Division III. Athletes are devoting most of their time to football in Division I. Noah likes to have more time to focus on his academics. This led him to making the Dean's List at Hanover.
Division I athletes put in 50% of their time into their sport, probably, at least. So there's a certain amount of commitment that's just absolutely incomparable to what football and what athletics are like here.
Academically, being a Division I athlete and student is difficult. Athletes put all their effort into football during the season and off-season. That leaves them with little room for academics or social time. At Hanover, athletes focus on football during the season, but can focus more on their academics and social lives during the off-season.
Much more time devoted to free time or devoted to, academics or devoted to something like working in the archives, which is what I'm doing right now. I mean, it's just, you have so much more time and so much more windows in your day to sort of just relax.
Due to the time commitment at Division I schools, athletes' classes are based on their football schedule. This means that some academic fields may ask for too much time, and athletes won't be able to study something because it interferes with football. At Hanover, classes happen before athletics, so that allows for athletes to study what they want and still play sports. This allows Noah to study his passion of English and get into grad school.
So here you get a little bit more major variation because kids aren't so cinctured by or, bordered off from what they can do, basically. People who played football in Miami, a lot of them just wanted to play football. They loved doing what they did, and I liked it too in some parts, but, at some point you develop some more sort of intellectual interest and you want to pursue that, so you do.
Whether it's Division I or Division III, football can bring stress on or off the field.
On the field, teams are expected to perform at their best ability and win games. When that doesn't happen, it creates stress for the coaches and the team.
Everybody has to do their own part, and when they're not doing their own part, then obviously emotions and tensions kind of flare up. So obviously each play, each second of the football game is determinative of what the possible outcome could be. So basically, if you mess up, if you make a bad play, if you throw an interception, if you fumble, if you do something, it's stressful because that changes the outcome and that changes how much fun people inevitably have playing football because nobody likes to lose.
Being the quarterback is an important part of football. The offense runs through the quarterback, and if the quarterback messes up, the play can go wrong. Although it can be a stressful position, being able to suit up and run the offense is something that keeps Noah going.
Playing quarterback, playing my position, I really like the sort of aesthetic of playing quarterback. I like the mental component of playing quarterback. I like throwing the football to my buddies probably more so. I just kind of like being with my friends and playing football on a daily basis with my friends and having fun.
The quarterback role is considered the leader of the team. Being the leader comes with listening to your teammates and coaches to help better the team as a whole. Listening and being a leader are some things Noah is taking away from football.
Kind of being coachable and listening to what people have to say in order to have a better relationship, a better sort of communication conduit with them. And also being in front of a group and having people listen to you and sort of leadership is something else I've learned.
As the regular season closes, Hanover faces their arch rival, Franklin College, in the Victory Bell game. This was Hanover's chance to finish the season undefeated in conference play. The game came down to the final seconds as a defensive stop allowed the offense to take a knee and secure the Bell and their second straight conference championship. This victory gave Hanover a regular season record of 9-1. Winning conference put them in a spot to compete in the Division III national playoffs. At the end of the day, the game is about more than wins and losses. It's about coaching for the adrenaline rush and impacting people's lives, overcoming the adversity of injuries and reaching personal goals, playing to get feelings out while having a family away from home, and the friendships and the ability to make yourself and others around you better people. For Division III athletes, coaches, and fans, football brings joy to everyone who is involved. The emotions that are put in create moments and memories that last forever.